Open your book to page 183. This is lesson 6.2. And this lesson is to add signed numbers. So let's go to example 1 on page 184. So it represents 4 by an arrow. So this is positive number. So when you have positive number, you go to the right. Okay, so positive 4, you always start with 0. So 4 means you go 4 on this side. So that's how you get the 4, right? Now you go to example 2. It says represent negative 5 by an arrow. So again, you start at 0. Now negative 5, negative direction is to the left. So you go 5 in this direction, and that's what negative 5 means. Okay, so next, you need to know how to add. So it says add 3 to the 2. So first you get a 2, right? So start at 0. So 2, you go 2 this way. And add means you keep going. So from here, you add 3 more. So go 1, 2, 3. And you end, so your end result is the total. So you end up right over here, so that's your result. So 3 plus 2 give you 5. Okay, so that's how you do the signed numbers. So same thing over here. So it says add negative 7 to the 5, okay, by using the arrows. So if you notice, again, so first you get a 5, so you start at 0 and you go to the 5. And then when you add means you continue on. So from here, you're going to add negative 7. But remember, negative is going to the left. So from here, you go 7 to the left. So that's what negative 7 means. So again, first, you start at 0 and you go to the 5. Right? So that's what the 5 is. Okay? So go to the 5, and then you add negative 7, you go this way. And so where you end up this is your net result. So the net result is over here, and so that's your sum. So that's your result. So answer would be negative 2. So negative 7 plus 5 will give you negative 2. Okay, now the example 5. Example 5 is you want to add negative 4 to the negative 3, right? So you start with 0 and you go to the negative 3. So 0, you go to negative 3. Then you're going to add negative 4. Means you have to go 4 more in the negative direction. So your net result would be negative 7. Okay, so that's how you do the addition with using the arrow. Okay, so this kind of help you to have a better understanding. But this method is usually you hardly use this one because it takes too long, right? So you want to use a faster method. The next thing we're going to talk about is the absolute value. The absolute value is the distance. So absolute value is the distance, so it's always going to be positive. So for example, absolute value of negative 5, that means it's the distance between 0 and negative 5. Okay, so again, so from 0 to negative 5, the distance is 5. Okay, so again, absolute value means distance, so it's going to be always positive. So over here, you got absolute value of 4. Absolute value of 4 means the distance between 0 and 4. So distance between 0 and 4, the answer is 4. Okay, so again, absolute value, you just get rid of the negative. Okay, if it's negative, you just get rid of it. So negative 5 becomes 5. 4 is still become 4, right? So again, absolute value is always positive because it's a distance. So let's look at some of the example. So example A, absolute value of 9 is 9. Absolute value of 0 is 0. Absolute value of negative 4 is 4. Okay, next thing is you need to go and learn how to add. So let's go to example 7. Example 7, you're looking for negative 7 plus negative 11. So first thing you need to do is look at the sign. Okay? If they're the same kind, you have to add the numbers. If they're the opposite kind, like if one is positive, one is negative, then you have to subtract the number. So first you look, okay, so both are negatives. So both are negative, they're the same, so same sign. So you're going to add the numbers. So don't look at the sign. So when you're ready to add, you just look at the numbers. So you got 7 and 11. So you add, so you're going to get 18. Okay? So first, you look for the sign. Right? Look for the sign, right? So first check the sign. So it's same sign. Therefore, step 2, you have to add. If it is opposite sign, you have to subtract the numbers. Okay? So if it's opposite sign, then you subtract. Okay. Then after that, you go back and look at the bigger number. So bigger number is 11. Then you follow the sign of that. So when you're checking the number, don't look at the sign, just look at the number itself. Okay. Again, you look at the absolute value. So 11 is bigger, and so you uncover the sign, it's negative. So the answer would be negative. So let's go and do more example. So let's go to example 8. You have negative 24 plus 17. Okay, so again, first look at the sign. They're opposite. This is positive, this is negative. So if they're different, you have to subtract the numbers. So when you're subtracting the number, you carve out the sign. Just look at the number only. So 24 minus 17 will give you 7. Then after that, after you're done subtracting, right, you always look at the sign of the bigger number. So right now 24 is bigger. So now you uncover, it's negative. So your answer would be negative. Okay. Let's go to example 9 on page 187. So you got negative 18 plus 32. Okay, so they're opposite, so you have to subtract the number. So again, when you're subtracting the number, you don't look at the sign, just look at the number itself. Okay, so again, this is positive, this is negative. So first you have to check the signs. So they are opposite, you have to subtract. So cover it up. So you subtract 32 minus 18 will give you 14. Okay, then after that you uncover, and then the bigger number is 32 is positive, so your answer would be positive. So the answer is always follow the one with the sign of the one with the big number. Okay. Let's go to example 10. You have negative 29 plus negative 35. So you check, both are negative, so they are the same kind, so you have to add. So that's going to add, so cover it up, okay, cover up the sign. So you add a number, so 9 plus 5 is 14, carry 1, 2 plus 3 is 5 plus the 1 carry, so it's 6, right, so it's 64. Now this one is bigger number right now, so you uncover, it's negative, so your answer would be negative. Okay? And let's go to example 11. You're looking for negative 9 plus positive 23. So first you check the sign, they're opposite. Okay, before that, you have to make sure it's addition, right? Make sure it's addition. So check, okay, so they're opposite signs, so you have to subtract. So cover the sign, so when you subtract, this will give you 14. So now this is bigger number, so that's going to uncover to see what sign is it. It's plus, so the answer will be positive. Okay, and that's it. Okay, let's go to example 12. Okay, you're looking for negative 2.5 plus negative 4 1/3. So the same sign, so you have to add the numbers, right? So go off to the side, so you have to add the number together. Again, remember, when you're adding or subtracting, ignore the sign for now. So you got 2.5, and you have to add 4 1/3, right? So this is equal to, so again, you want to make into common denominator, so it would be 6, right? 2 and 3 is 6, so this would be 3, and this would be 2. So this will give you 6 and 5, 6. Right? So this will give you 6 and 5, 6. Okay, so now, again, so you cover the sign when you add, right? So now you uncover the bigger number, so uncover is negative, so answer would be negative. Okay, let's go to page 188. Okay, that's a property, it's called the additive inverse property. So you have a plus negative a equal to 0. So this is the additive inverse. Okay, additive inverse property is when you add opposite numbers, your answer will equal to 0. Okay, so these are opposites. So if you look at example 14, so example 14, it says the opposite of 5 is negative 5. The additive inverse of negative 10 is 10. So again, additive inverse is the opposite. Okay, the opposite of 3 over 4 is negative 3 over 4. Okay, so again, additive inverse means the opposite. So when you add a number and its opposite, the answer equal to 0.